Hello there, friends. Happy Thursday. Here we are again. Weren't we just here a few minutes ago, it seems like? All right. I've got a fun pocket card to do today. It is I've done a pocket card before. This one's going to be a little bit different. But we are using the absolutely adorable Silly Safari stamp set. My name's Janna, and I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I'm so happy that you are here. And I hope that you will enjoy what you see here. And please give me a thumbs up if you would. And if you're new and haven't subscribed yet, that would be awesome if you subscribed. Okay, let's get started, shall we? I have got my parts and pieces here. And let's see. So what you are going to need, first of all, to do this card is 2 pieces of cardstock, or 1 piece of cardstock and a piece of patterned paper, whatever you decide that you want on the front of your card. Cut to 5.5 by 4.25, our standard size card. All right, so I'm not using patterned paper today. I'm going to create my own by stamping the design. So let me just bring in some scrap paper here. And today I will try to pay attention that I am not off camera. Last time when I looked back, I noticed that I was working too close to myself here. And so I think you weren't seeing all of what I was doing. So my apologies for that. All right, so let's see. I'm going to start with, there's 2 different types of foliage here. I'm going to use them both, but I'm going to start with that one. And I'm going to use Garden Green. You guys, I went and had my nails done. Didn't they turn out pretty? I haven't had my nails done in forever. I thought that Mandy did a great job on them. I love the little flowers. Okay. So, Garden Green. And when you are, if you've never created a background before, you just random stamp, and you want to go off the edges. You don't want everything to be within the border of your paper. And turn your stamp, unless it's a directional stamp, turn it around here and there, and think of working kind of in a triangular pattern, if that makes sense. So here you can see I did. So I try to keep that in mind when I'm doing this. I'm not perfect by any means, so but I just try to keep that in mind as I'm going along. And I think I will put one right in the middle here. Hi, Sue. Yes, I love this. This stamp set is so adorable. The animals, they just have such cute faces. So cute. And I think it's just perfect for any age. You don't have to just think of it as being something for kids, because I would be totally tickled if somebody sent me a card using this stamp set. But I'm an animal lover too, so there's that. And then also as you're doing this, keep in mind that you're going to be using one or more other stamps to fill in. Okay, so that is what I'm going to do with that one. I should have wet this. It's still wet. It's amazing how long these scrubby things stay wet. But I've got my other stamp cleaner over here I can use also. Okay, so there's that one. And then I'm going to use this one. So then this one I'm going to use shaded spruce. The other color was garden green. This one's shaded spruce. This one's a little bit darker and has a little more blue mixed in with it, I guess. So it's totally fine if, in this case, for these to be overlapping each other. I want it to have sort of a jungle-y look. Okay, so there is that. Now our background is done. So it's very easy, really, to create your own background paper if you don't have something that you like, or you just don't have paper. You can always make your own if you have stamps. Okay, so let's get this off of here. And we can set that aside. And then let me pull in. I've got a little strip here of crumb cake. And I'm going to pull out this little tiny border stamp here. Now, I have one tip for when you are using small stamps like this, and that is to put it on a bigger block so you can totally see around it. If you're putting it on a block that's just slightly bigger than the stamp itself, or even just a little bit bigger, sometimes it's really still kind of hard to see where you're stamping, especially if you are stamping on something like this that is a small strip. So when you put it on a bigger block, you can see where you're stamping much easier. The only thing with that is sometimes it's easier to pick up ink onto your block, but and I'm really bad about picking ink up on my block. As you can see, probably I've already done that, but I try to be careful. And then we're just going to stamp this. across, and it lines up the way they've designed it. It just lines up so the design goes in one nice line here. You can also use this as a filler, like if I wanted to stamp it around on the piece that we just created, you could use it as a filler on that too. I feel like I need drum music playing in the background with these jungly stamps. Okay, so we can set that aside. And did I say that I was stamping also in crumb cake? So the paper was crumb cake and the ink was crumb cake. It's a good color. Thank you, Sue. Yes, I was really pleased. You know, it's been very hard to find somebody to get your nails done if you're not already in with them. I mean, it's just everybody's like always booked up. And so anyway, I went to Sunset Salon in Toledo and I was just really super happy. And I had my toes done too. First time in a long time. Okay, so now let's see what we have here. I forgot to give myself another piece of white to stamp on, so let me grab a piece of white. Oh, no, I don't need this. What am I thinking? I do have my white in here. I have to do something first. All right. So I'm just thinking about what I want to do next. So we will do this part next. So you've got your two pieces that are the same size, either the pattern piece that you created or another piece of pattern paper, and your cardstock, the other piece of cardstock the same size. So what you're going to do is glue this together, and like I said, I have done this style card in one other video, so you may have seen me do this before. This particular pocket card, I think it's really fun to make. Oh, there is something I want to do before I do this part. And I can still do it since I've only got glue down one line. Okay, so I've got two circle punches here, a 1 3/4 and a 2-inch. I'm going to use the 1 3/4. Let me see where my glue is. And I am going to punch myself a hole. I don't want it like right in the middle. This won't go completely over to the middle anyway. So I'm going to just do it right there. All right. And what I needed to do, let's see. No, that's okay. I can go ahead and glue. So I don't want glue up at the, yes I do. Never mind, don't listen to me. I want glue on all 4 sides. They must oil, when they make these circle punches, maybe all punches, they must put some kind of oil in there because can you see it on my paper there? I have never put oil on it, so they must do that when they manufacture them. I've never, that's about the only punch I think I have that I've noticed leaving oil on my cardstock. Okay, so we are good there. Okay, so I'm going to set that aside and let it dry. I've got another piece. I'm sorry, I just am trying to think of what steps I want to do next. So I am going to cut another circle out of this crumb cake here using that same 1 3/4 inch punch. And I'm leaving room because I'm going to use the next punch, the 2-inch punch, and I'm going to come in and create myself a frame to go around that circle that I just cut out. So I want to make sure I have it lined up here fairly evenly. And so now I have my little frame. And as you can see, it has oil on it. Has anybody else experienced that? I don't know. All right, so now then I want this fun little stamp that just looks like little, what it reminds me of is like the little huts. There's just something about the little lines that what they make huts with, that that's what that thatching or whatever you want to call it, that's what it reminds me of. Okay, let me bring my crumb cake back over, and I'm just going to stamp my little frame here. I'm not twisting and turning my stamp this time, I'm just keeping it with the lines all going vertically here. I'm trying to kind of move it around on the stamp so there's a variety of how it gets stamped. So there's the little frame. Okay, so now then, that's all glued together, and we're going to put it in the paper trimmer here at about 1.5 inches. Do I want it that big? Let me look here. 1.25 inches. Yeah, I'm going to do 1.5 inches. Make sure it's in there straight. We're going to just cut that off like that. So you want to be mindful of that when you are also placing the circle that you cut out, okay? So now I'm just going to put my bone folder in here. I used art glitter glue and it dries super fast. I just want to, I'm not using really any force here. I just want to move my paper a little bit so that my opening in my pocket will, my openings, you know, open a little bit more. And then I probably should do it on this end as well. It'll just help you with the next step a little bit more. Just stretch the paper just slightly. Okay, now then I've got another piece of white here. It's cut to 5 by 3 3/4. And this is going to fit up into the pocket. And you want to push it to the top, keeping an even amount on each side as best as possible. And you can kind of tell if it's straight. You want it straight for sure. So you just have to finagle it a little bit till it's straight and you've got it even on both sides. Maybe there's a better way of doing it than what I'm doing, but you eventually get it. I mean, it doesn't have to be an exact perfect amount on each side, but you want it to fit in your pocket right, so I think that's good. So now what I'm going to do, and if you don't have glue that has a fine tip like this, you can put your adhesive on before you slip it up into your pocket, but you just want to be able to have wiggle time to get your paper where you want it. I'm just sticking it up there and putting a little line of glue in there so that this stays where I want it. You could also use glue dots for that and stick them up in there with your bone folder, or maybe a tool like this that you've got the glue dots stuck to the bottom of. Okay, so there's that. Now then, let's slide it back in here and close the pocket. And then ever so lightly, I'm going to take my pencil and go around that circle, which I will erase, but I want to be able to see where to stamp my image. So there's my circle, if you can see it. And I'm going to stamp the cute monkey. Put the pin back in my glue here. Okay. So let's get him, and then also I think I want to stamp "It's Your Day, Go Wild." Do I want to do that? Yes. It's your day, go wild. Let's see if it'll fit. Maybe I will just curve it slightly more than it is. We'll see here in a minute. Put this stamp back away so I don't lose it. There we go. All right. Okay, that looks good. Now then, let me get my Memento Tuxedo Black. And, ooh, do I want to be brave and do it with my block, or should I put it in my Misty? Eek! I'm going to put it in my Misty for the monkey. I'm going to be brave and do it with my block for this part, because I don't want to mess it up now. That's for sure. Yay! I always like when something works out. Okay. But for the monkey, and am I going to stamp him in black or early espresso? I think I'm going to stamp him in early espresso. Okay, but I am going to put him in my Misty. So I can do that and put one there and put one there. And then I'll stamp it once in early espresso. I can always go back over the top with the black if I don't think I'm going to like it. Oh, I think it looks cute in the brown. Okay. Definitely needs one more coat at least here. That looks good, I think. We'll just go with that. Okay, what did I do with my eraser? Here it is. I'm going to erase my little pencil line here. Okay. Now to color him up. So I'm going to give him some pink cheeks because I like to do that. I'm using my Stampin' Up! Blends, and I am using the color Light Bubble Bath. And I'm going to just do a little bit inside of his ears here. I mean, maybe it's a girl monkey. I'm not sure. I'll give it a pink tongue. Cute. All right. Now for the face, I am using number SU700. Stampin' Up! Has a whole collection of colors that are all different shades of like skin tones. So you can use them for whatever you want to use them for besides skin, but it's just nice to have all of the many colors that they have for that. And they're all by a number instead of a name. And this color might be a little bit dark for my pink to show up. Might have to go back and add. Yeah, it kind of covered up my pink. I might have to go back and add some more. I like to do the pink ahead of time instead of afterwards because it makes kind of a funny little line around it sometimes when you go back in and add it afterwards. We'll let this dry a little bit before I do that and see if it'll be okay. I might not have to add more. I can see the pink coming through there, so we'll see. Oh, you know what I should do around his little monkey ears with this color. And then this one is SU200. And I think I'm going to use the other end because I'm afraid I'm going to just go outside of the lines too much otherwise. All right, now I will switch back to this one. I'm just going to kind of brush down here so it's not even down at the bottom. And the other thing I want to tell you about this is if you are coloring onto the slider that goes in the pocket with alcohol markers like I am, keep in mind that your coloring is going to show through on the back. So if that is going to bother you, before you glue your piece in, you might want to do your coloring so that you can add another piece of cardstock onto the back or a lightweight paper that will cover that up. If you know, you could use patterned paper or whatever. You don't want it to be too thick because keep in mind that it's got to still slide in and out of the pocket, right? Okay, so let me put this in here and see if I colored far enough down on the bottom, and I did. So there we go. How cute, little monkey peeking out. All right, so now let me put my little, I'm gonna pull it back out and I'm gonna put my little frame on here. Maybe I should use my tweezers for this. Hey, Danita. He is a cute little monkey. I always call him a him. In my mind, that is a boy monkey, but you know what? You could put a little bow on its head and make it into a really cute little girl monkey. And I'm sure that I've got a little bow that would work perfect for that. Or you could also, well, you couldn't do it with this card to where it has to slide in and out the pocket, but I was going to say you could always make a bow with ribbon, but in this case that would not work because then you wouldn't be able to slide it in and out. So when you're doing this, you just want to be careful that you don't accidentally glue the top piece to the back piece. That your glue doesn't ooze out is what I'm trying to say, and get glue on the back piece. So I just like to use my bone folder and stick in there just to make sure that I don't have anything stuck. Okay, now we've got this piece. And let's see, I'm going to put glue probably a little more than half on here. And make sure I'm going across the bottom here. All right, I think that looks pretty good. So my little strip, I think I told you it was 5/16 wide and 8.5 long. So hopefully I should have enough left here to fit just right across the top here. And I do. Okie dokie. And then let me get, I wanted to also stamp in here, happy birthday. Let's see. It's your day, go wild. I could do woohoo, it's your birthday, or I could do happy birthday, you party animal. I think I'll do happy birthday, you party animal. And I better, for safety reasons, bring this back and do it on here. We don't want any mistakes now. And I think I will put it right down here. And then you still have room to write all right there, or you could write on the back of it as well. But I do want it to be straight. Hi, Nancy. No worries. Or in other words, Hakuna Matata. I had to look it up to see what that meant because I didn't know. That's what it means, no worries. I had no idea that's what it meant. Uh-oh. Oh, okay. I saw a glob and I thought, what was the glob? It's just the way the birthday is. They kind of have a little loopy on there. I thought maybe something had gotten stuck to the stamp. Happy birthday, you party animal. Okay, so this card would be cute for anybody. Men, women, boys and girls, whoever you want to give it to. Okay, do I have ink on my fingers? Well, yes, but I just want to make sure that I don't have any that's going to come off. All right, now then, I want to round my corners here. And I want the small, this corner rounder I got on Amazon. I absolutely love it. It's got small, medium, and large. Let me hold it up there so you can kind of see the difference in how it cuts the corners. But it's called Kadumaru, I don't know, Pro. It was not expensive. You just take the bottom off to dump out the little pieces. Yeah, I really like it. But I'm going through two thicknesses here. But there you can see that. Oops. That is what the small corner looks like. I have several corner rounders, but I don't think I had any that rounded with such a nice small corner as this one does. Okay. It's your day, go wild. Happy birthday, you party animal. There we go. Too cute. All right, so now I've got these embellishments. These are unfortunately retired. They are the opaque faceted gems. But you know, use what you have in your stash, and that is what I am doing. And I'm using these because I really liked the brown to go on here. So I am just going to put one there and there. And there. Cute. And I'm not going to go back over the cheeks. I mean, you might not be able to see it there, but you can see the rosiness in person on his little cheeks. He's so cute. Okay, and then I did one with the hippo. Look at that face. And this one inside says, thank you big time. Sorry. The more you slide it in and out, the better it works. Thank you big time. Trust me, it will go back in. I know it will. Ugh. Come on now. been so humid here too that that affects the paper here. Okay, so I didn't stamp any words around this one, but I just thought that it looked cute there with the monkey. All right, there is our little pocket card. It's a fun one to make and very easy. Okay, we will do story time. I have this box sitting here. I'm showing you the box. Sitting here that my friend Patty sent me for my birthday. And so it's just taunting me because I can't open it yet. So I just look at it. I just look at the box till my birthday rolls around. Then I'm going to tear into it. Okay. Oh, let me go back to the beginning in case you haven't been here for story time with this book yet. It's called Fairyopolis, a Flower Fairy's Journal. And it's just something I've had on my bookshelf here in my stamp room for a long time. And it's a fun book that's got some interactive things in it. Like this page we looked at last time, I think, and the little fairy is hidden here under the flower petal. Okay, so let's see. We did this. So now we are on to this page. And I think that this is, you know, it's sort of well, not sort of, it's British. So we are on, in this journal, the 21st of May in who knows whatever year. It says, my library books have given me an intriguing insight into the world of fairies. It seems that for centuries, people have encountered fairies, pixies, and elves in locations all over the country. What is more, I have come across an entire chapter on Sussex and its supposed population of little folk. I appear to be living in a county that is infamous for its supernatural inhabitants. And then along here it says fairy places in Sussex. And then it, okay, Sisbury Ring. I'm not going to be able to say these things. I don't know how to pronounce that word, something ring. Tanbury Hill. These Iron Age fonts, why does that say, oh no, forts? Oh, these Iron Age forts are said to be visited by fairies on Midsummer's Eve. Harrow Hill was said to be a home for fairies. They left the hill when archaeologists arrived. Tulborough Mount is said to have been the site of a fairy funeral. A site called Burlow Castle near how embarrassing. Alfriston is where a local man was said to have helped a fairy in the 19th century. And here's something else I can't pronounce. In West Sussex is where the poet and artist William Blake in 1800 witnessed a fairy funeral at the bottom of his garden. And this is a map of Sussex. So here are all the little places listed where they have seen these things. Of course, it's all make-believe. Okay, and now we are on to the 23rd of May. Have come across a very interesting advertisement in the Sussex Herald today. Perhaps I should attend the lecture. If nothing else, the sea air at Brighton would be exhilarating. We'll cycle down to the station and investigate train times. And so here's a ticket. And then we've got the Sussex Herald over here. The British Fairy Folklore Society and its members welcome you to a lecture on the subject of little people, their habits, and behavior, given by renowned fairy expert and enthusiast Lady Harrington Smythe. To be held at St. Mark's Church Hall, Daisy Lane, Brighton, Sussex, on Saturday, the 2nd of June at 2:30 p.m. Tickets 9D available on the day. Refreshments will be served. Please note latecomers will not be admitted, so don't be late getting there. Violet, the shopkeeper, told me that fairies are known in Sussex as Pharisees. Pharisees. Very cute. We'll stop with that, and then we'll read 2 more pages next time. I just love the little interactive things in here, and it's just kind of silly and fun. Takes us off to Adventureland for a few seconds, right? I just think this book is beautiful, really. I'm going to show you this while I have it right here. I ordered this on Amazon. It is a quote sticker book. Comes with little tweezers. I don't remember how much I paid for it. If you like to journal or just add little sayings and things to your projects, this little book, and these are stickers, look at this. You get a gazillion of them. I've gone through and looked at them, and there's not anything weird. Like sometimes, look at this one's black with gold foil. Sometimes when you order from Amazon or other places that aren't the typical outlets like online stamping places or whatever that you shop from, in my case anyway, I've gotten things like this that have phrases or whatever that they are not right, and they say something weird, and it's because they've done them in another country, and the words are mixed up, and so the sayings aren't correct. And it's like, you can't even use that. Maybe you could cut them apart and use individual words, but yeah, this one's cool with all the different colors. And I like the color tones in this one. But there's just, so many in here, and very, very fun book. And I found out about this book from, I can't think of her name right now. She does all the glue booking stuff. She lives up in Troutdale, Oregon, I think, up right by Portland. And so she has, somebody gave it to her or something. She has this book. And so when she showed it, I went right on and bought one, because I'm always looking for things like this to put on ATC cards or my Memdex cards, or, in a journal thing or something. But yeah, so there's, like I said, a gazillion quote stickers in here if you're interested. And then these little tweezers come with it. Alrighty, thanks for being here, you guys. If you are interested in any Stampin' Up! Products and you don't have a demonstrator already, my shopping site is listed in the description box. And right now, What date is it today? Excuse me. Yeah, it starts today. There is free shipping on orders of $75 or more for 3 days only, I think is what it is. But I think it started today. Okay, so keep that in mind if you are wanting to shop. Free shipping is a good thing. All right, you guys, take care. I won't be here next Thursday, taking a little break, but I will be back the next week. So have a great weekend and week ahead, and I will see you next time in my next video. Happy crafting. Take care. Thanks so much for being here. Nancy, my birthday is August 4th. And I'm just reading your guys' comments. I'm glad you liked the card. The drops, Nancy, what, like, are you talking about like Nouveau drops? I've got some of those. I forget about them. I think that might be what you're talking about. I've got a few bottles of that, of those, and I need to play with them. I really do. Okay, yeah. And it could be that people just are like me. They forget they have it there. But no, I like the Nouveau drops. I just forget to use them. All righty. I will see you guys next time. Happy crafting and stamping. Bye-bye.